Ready to rock? All right, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out. It's past bedtime for some people. Well, first, I want to say thank you to our fan base. I know everybody stands up here and says it, but 45,169 people, 11,000 students. Man, it was awesome. We had 200 recruits here. We got 3 official visitors here. For them to see that entire lower bowl full, to see students out like that, it's a credit to a lot of people that have put a lot of time into building this. And we said it 3 years ago that we're going to keep building, and I don't know how long it's going to take. We're in a race against ourselves to build it as fast as we possibly can. And the fans being there today makes such a huge difference. That's what college football in Tampa should be. Appreciate Rob Higgins and his crew being on a PR tour all week to get that done, and he's done a great job there, and super grateful to him and his staff. I think in a lot of ways, as complete for us a game from the beginning to the very end that we've played in terms of just the ups and the downs, but just continuing to play and play and play and play. There was so much in terms of mistakes, in terms of non-execution on really all 3 sides of the ball, but we just kind of kept answering the bell. There's so much to clean up, but you talk about holding them defensively to 23 rushing yards and whatever it was, 3 up until that last drive. And making a team one-dimensional is huge. To have them pass for, I guess, 50 attempts, and then you get 5 sacks, and continue to just drive back and drive back and drive back. I thought defensively really resilient. Not perfect. There's a bunch of yards we gave up that need to be cleaned up, but certainly incredibly resilient. You stop the run the way we were able to and make them attack you through the air, and I thought made some really, really big plays. I thought offensively, there was the 2 drives in the second quarter. It was 3 and out, and we were just a little bit off in that period there, and I thought the guys just did a great job answering the bell. We needed some explosives there to kind of jump-start it, and guys continued to step up. Jeremiah Koger again stepped up. That was really good to see with Chaz out especially. But you could see we tried to take some shots to kind of ignite it a little bit, and I thought Byram did a good job on those. And when he would miss, he would come right back. I thought it was hard to run the ball today. I thought we had to adjust a bunch. We got some different pictures than we anticipated. Credit to Hoodie and his crew for continuing to just search for ways to get us to the right runs. A lot of the time when the box looks like it did and they went to playing a bunch of man and you got to run the quarterback, and I thought Byram continues to be a force that's really, really, really hard to stop. 8 yards a carry. He's as special of a player as there is in the country. I would put him up against anybody. And then on special teams, I thought from a punt coverage standpoint today was not great at all. And we adjusted a little bit there and took away opportunities to return it. We knew 8's a dynamic returner. I thought between the coverage piece and the actual punting in the first half, I wanted to throw up. But we adjusted and we kind of neutralized it there. And then the play, the bloop kick to try to gain a possession there, man, as incredibly executed as it had all week, with Chase kicking it and Jaquan coming up with the recovery. I give a lot of credit to Chad Creamer again and Tyler Majewski and those guys in the lab just working up ways to steal a possession, and that was certainly a really positive way to do it. Overall, like I said, I thought really complete from the beginning to the end. I told Zach before the game, and I turn it back to FAU, you watch these guys, I mean, for a first-year head coach and for a guy that hadn't done it before, I told him I've been there. I've been there, and it's hard. But he's got his guys playing really hard and believing. I think the best testament is how hard they play on defense. I thought incredibly hard, special teams incredibly hard. Their guys fought to the very end, and he's doing a good job building a program down there. I think if there's a sign of this program is slowly but surely changing, I guess we become bowl eligible tonight, and I don't know if a single young guy in that locker room gives one heck about being bowl eligible. I said it 2 years ago. I said it last year. That's not the standard here. It'll never be the standard here. We got to continue to press forward. What I am really proud of, and this stat was given to me walking in, and I told our guys there's 6 teams in the top 25 that got upset this week. One, we earned the right not to be one of them, but how fragile winning really is. And it goes right back to their daily habits. It goes right back to our process. It goes right back to what our culture that we're building here. And a lot of credit to the older guys here that just continue to pour into their process without ever being emotionally attached to the end result. But we're going to enjoy it tonight. And then we know we've got a huge road trip up to Memphis coming next week, again on national TV. On a big stage that we continue to put ourselves on, and I'm really, really proud to be standing up here. I told these guys, shut out any outside noise you get. We're going to continue to get pat on our back for doing really well in these games every week as we go. But a pat on the back and a slap in the face is 18 inches apart, and it's really, really fragile. And I bring up the teams losing this week, just simply how fragile it really is. And we're going to enjoy it, and then we're going to go right back to work. We got some guys dinged up. We got to get back healthy. I think we'll get a couple of guys back next week that have been out, and we're going to have to be full force to go play against a really good Memphis team up there, I'm sure in front of a great crowd. So I'll open it up to questions.
At Miami, you've won 4 straight games. Anything that you've seen over that period where the team has gotten on this nice little roll?
You know what? I told him last night, Joey, our best week of practice this week, and I say that really intentional, really detailed. You earn the right every week to have a chance to win, and I thought that they earned the right this week to go win. I think it's a week-to-week thing. Again, you see it all over the country. It's a week-to-week thing. You got to go earn the right to win, and that means the way you work. That means the way you love on each other. That means the standard you hold each other to. And I'm saying as players, the ability to eliminate distractions, which are more and more as you get eyes on you. And when you've never done it and you don't know what it's supposed to look like, you look to the leadership, and the leadership being our coaches, our staff, and ultimately trickles down to the leadership in the locker room. And those guys have done a great job. There's some really, really special young people. Mac Harris is one of them. Man, Byron Brown is one of them. Cole Best, Zane Herring, Derek Bowman, Jacob Merrifield. There's a bunch of these older guys that are demanding that this, and I'm not naming a couple that I'm sure I'm missing, and I don't mean to, but just these guys that continue to demand that it be elite week to week. That's only as good as this past week, and we got to do it again next week. But it's a really, really cool group to watch work. They take the coaching. They hold each other to a really high standard. But I think that's what's given us a chance the last 4.
Coach, FAU cuts it to a one-score game at 21-13. How important was it on your next possession to get points and get it back to a 2-score game?
I think just the ability to just keep snapping it and continuing to just push down to down, continue to have a next play mentality. You know, that's why I was so proud that you bring up the 21-13. I think we scored the next 27. Just continue to play the next play and continue to play the next play and continue to play the next play. Like, that team will challenge you offensively in terms of you get it to 3rd and long and then you get it to 4th and medium. You're like, holy smokes, like they're going to go for it again. But they continue to force you to have a next play mentality, or you're going to lose your mind. And our guys never lost their mind. I may have, but you wouldn't have seen it because I kept a poker face the whole time.
Any turnovers in the game?
Stop, Joey.
That's a good thing, right?
It's a great thing. Stop. Knock on something, Joey. You're on Team USF. Yeah, there you go.
Coach, offensive domination. Just talk about you guys scored the football and took care of business.
Yeah, again, I think it starts with the offensive line. I thought they protected extremely well. I think it goes to Byram taking care of the football and, again, just playing down to down and down to down. And I thought, man, I'd have to see third down. Yeah, I don't quite have that in front of me, but I thought we did a good job. Some big third downs. The biggest one I could think of is the drive we got on the 7-yard line and that third and long, the catch by Mudia to kind of jumpstart that. I thought that was like the game-defining drive. You went 93 yards. I think it was about 8 plays, but that huge third down conversion backed up. Like, that's a dagger that you put in a team, and it's really hard to come back from. But I thought, again, we fluttered there in the second quarter, and like that play, that third and whatever it was, just for Byram to hang in there. The O-line gave him about as much time as you could ever imagine, and then Mudia just getting open in man coverage. I thought that was kind of like the defining play to jump-start it and kind of finish.
Alex, you had when it was 7-3, you mentioned the second quarter, you had the disconcerting signals on fourth down. So you took advantage of that immediately with Eccles in the end zone. So if you could talk about, you took advantage of something that was given to you, and you wasted no time with that right there.
Yeah, that was huge. Going back to the third downs, 9 of 18, 2 of 2 on fourth down. You're over 50% between those two. I think that's the huge part. But yeah, that was big. Obviously, you were going to go for it, and the clapping thing is like so crazy, and yeah, I'm glad that they saw it, heard it. I think that one came from the sideline. It continued to come from the sideline. That's something from a coaching side that they got to get fixed. But I'm glad that you got the penalty because it was a thing that just kept happening, and I'm glad they got it done.
It's almost impossible to hold a team scoreless in college football now with the rules and everything. How big is it to keep them in the teens like your defense is doing right now?
Yeah, I thought it was huge. I think that offense is really, really good, man. That quarterback's good. Zach's got that O-line humming. They're good. They're really, really efficient. They obviously make you defend the entire field. They go fast. We had a couple of communication things early. Again, just such a resilient group defensively, man. They just kept playing the next play and playing the next play and playing the next play, and it's huge. It's absolutely huge. It gives us a chance to go win.
4 touchdown catches in his last 3 games after not having a catch in his first 4. What has allowed him to kind of burst on the scene in conference play?
Yeah, Jeremiah's a unique young man. I think who he is, I think his background, he's so competitive. Really, all those freshman wideouts, they came in together, him and Christian Neptune and Corey Pettigrew. Like, those guys draw greatness out of each other, and they attach themselves to Keyshawn and Chaz Nimrod and Josh Porter and Jaquan Smith, like these dudes, and give Cody Burns a ton of credit and Parker Carmichael, that crew. Those guys draw greatness out of each other. They demand greatness out of each other, and there's no prima donna nonsense. Those guys work their tails off. You see Jeremiah Coger up and down the hallways, like man, that kid played at a great program at St. Francis. He was raised the right way. Mom would belt to ass him at any point if he stepped out of line, and she's a rock star, and Dad's a rock star, and the kid was a great hooper, and he's just so competitive, smart, resilient, tough. Got to keep recruiting Jeremiah Cogers. The dude just hangs out at the facility and continues to want to get better and better and better. And he's like, he don't even know how good he can be. So I don't think you're supposed to say that, because then people start recruiting these cats. But I don't really give a shit.
Earlier this week, Coach Hodson was talking about how he was trying to build a culture over there at basketball like you have over here. And then you see Shane McClanahan and Coach Hines, and so you embrace Coach Erickson after the game. What is it like to be able to share a season like this, not just with your team, but with the athletic program, the university, and this community?
Well, we're only 7 games in, so we got to continue to go here. But man, Hodge's been great. I think he's a football guy, and I think at places where football's good, basketball's good. Jose's had it going in women's hoops for a really long time, and Ken Erickson's like a walking legend around here. I just try to get in where I fit in, and those guys have all been so supportive. I will say this, Shane, man, that dude's been so awesome to me. He texts me every Friday night, and we sat behind the dugout a couple times, and he treats my kiddos like gold. And I know he's a big-time baseball guy, but he loves this football program, and he's on the sideline as much as he can be. And it was so awesome to see him pregame, and he's so juiced up. And but literally every Friday night I get a text from Shane, and he's a special dude, man. He's a really, really proud Bull. But I think if we continue to raise the standard with us, and everybody else continues to raise the standard around here. I know Rob, his vision is that we continue to raise the standard in every aspect of this program, and it don't have nothing to do with money, man. Everybody thinks, man, resources, and that's really important, but it's a culture. When you walk into the football building, or you walk into the football side of that building, there's a gosh darn standard that everything you do is elite, and the way you talk, the way you look, the way you communicate, the way you demand that things are done, the standard is to be elite. And I'm obviously proud that Rob has walked in, because that's his standard as well. And that's the standard we begged for when we got here 3 years ago, that I do want expectations. We should have expectations. We should win here. And I would imagine that's the expectation for everybody else. I don't have time to worry about everybody else. I just got time to worry about us, and we got a lot of stuff to clean up.
Listed as out for the season. What's the prognosis with him? And Chaz Nimmer obviously missed today's game. Kind of quick injury update for those guys.
Yeah. Cartavius, we're continuing to work through. It was a bad injury, obviously. He's working on getting another opinion to see where he is. He won't be back this year, but he was on our sideline today. It gave me some juice to see him. He looked great, and he's got such a cool, positive energy about him. Chaz working through it. We'll get Chaz back here at some point. But it won't be next week. Who else we got? Hope is Mike Williams. We get back next week, which will be huge, like monumentally huge for us up front. He's such a high energy guy and a leader in there, and he's battling his tail off to get back healthy. I think for the most part we're all right from there. We're dinged up though. Like we got all sorts of dings, and that's what's cool is you get to see a bunch of guys step up. See Moody Rubin back healthy, fighting, which is cool. He's such a high energy guy for us. But I think for the most part we're in a good spot.
Got you a turnover on tip ball. And he had the greatest touchdown I've ever seen, but the guy, it'll never be recorded. I mean, what was your reaction to that, and how disappointing was it to have that taken off the board?
Yeah, I think the game's going so fast you don't have time to be disappointed about much. You just kind of play the next play. But Rico, I pointed Rico out last week. I told him the football gods rewarded him. Rico is everything that college football should be about. Dude's a walk-on from Armwood, right down the road. Was on the scout team for a year. He was ineligible, got the extra year. Man, he's a father now, and is just such a positive influence for the guys in that room. And I love watching Rico play. Love watching Rico make plays, and he's a guy that I think I pointed out last week, but he got a game ball last week because I noticed him every single time we score the PAT unit is out there. He's the first guy dapping everybody up. Such an elite teammate. But the football gods rewarded him on that one. Hopefully they keep rewarding him. We'll keep praying. Guys, thank you so much. Oh, Byron Brown. You guys, leading rusher again.
Career 100-yard rushing game, and 18 total touchdowns. The last 4 games, 4 straight games, on 3 or more touchdown passes.
What's going on? What's up?
What was the key to getting you going in the second half? I know you had a couple 3-and-outs at the end of the second quarter, and you're trying to get it going. How'd you guys get the offense moving again?
Just play the next play. Say it every week. There's going to be some lulls in the game. Just keep playing the next play, and eventually one will pop.
Byron, you can no comment this one. I have no problem. But in the first quarter, I saw you go back to the referee and say something cool. Then in the second quarter, all of a sudden, there was a defensive delay of game. Did that have anything to do with why you were talking to the official?
Oh, yeah, just, communicating. They say communicate before the game on what the other team is doing, and, it was messing with our cadence, so just communication.
What's your take, Byron, on Jeremiah Coger's emergence in this offense? We're seeing him come up big almost every week now.
Coger, he going to go out there and ball. He's done it ever since he's got here, so it's really no surprise to us, He had a chance to step up and make plays today, and he's been doing that pretty much since he got here, so no surprise to anybody in the building.
Like you guys are playing extremely high-level football, and it's carrying over each week. Just talk about what you see from the Bulls from your perspective. You guys are playing high-level football.
We love each other, and as cliche as that sounds, it's true. Like, love is very deep, and we will go to battle for each and every one, every single play. And if someone goes down, next person stepping up with the same love and, same intent. So that's really all it is.
We've talked about a lot of teams in the top 25 losing this week, and it just seems like that's just college football. What does it say about this club that, you've been here, you've been the ups and downs, that a lot of people would say, all right, well, big game next weekend against Memphis, this could be that quote-unquote trap game. What could you say about your team's performance, about staying where you are right now and being able to perform in this game without looking too far ahead?
We're focused on us week to week. We know the opponent, but at the end of the day, if we lock in on what we have to do and execute our game plan to the best of our abilities, then we'll be right where we want to be.
Byron, most teams you talk about, it's a different guy every week. With your offense, it's a different guy every play. You have weapons all over the place. How nice is it to have that?
Oh, it's great. It makes my job easy. Just get it to them, let them make plays with their legs, with their abilities, and then you got Cole Skinner. He'll get in the end zone as well. Thick six.
You had a 4th-and-1 play when it was still pretty tight. You end up with a touchdown to Wyatt Sullivan, and he drags the guy 10 yards into the end zone. I know you maybe had a side view of that. What did you think of that play and that execution?
It was great. It was drawn up on the sideline and went out there and executed, and Wyatt got his first one against his former team, so excited for him.
What's that level of excitement when you guys get a free possession or an extra possession on the onside kick where you just come off the field and it seems like you go right back on it?
Oh, it's great. Love being on the field. Don't really want to be on the sideline, but go out there and go play. That's it.
Special teams has been a big part of this year, especially with some of the fake punt. Just talk about how complementary this team has been with everybody really contributing offense, defense, special teams.
All 3 sides are important, and week to week, you've seen special teams, defense, offense get it going, and we just feed off each other's energy. So, that allows us to keep the spark going.
You mentioned it seems to be anybody stepping up at any given time. Christian's been coming up with a lot of huge plays, whether it's running the ball or you're finding him down the field. You can talk about how he's really developed into a pretty solid part of this offense.
Neptune, he works really hard, really hard. He's in there late catching jugs, so it's no surprise the amount of success that he's been having and the confidence that he plays with. So just get the ball to him. Missed him a couple times today. We'll clean that up, but he's very key for us.
There was a crowd of over 45,000 people there. It was the largest homecoming game crowd since 2009. What does a turnout like that mean to you and the guys on the team?
And it means everything. It just speaks to what we got building inside this locker room, inside the facility. We appreciate Bulls Nation for showing out once again. It truly means a lot when they're there and very loud. So appreciate Bulls Nation for that.
First quarter, their corners are playing 7 yards off. You're running comeback routes. You force them to come up and play press coverage. Now you're going deep. You're basically taking what the defense is giving you, aren't you?
That's it. That's the name of the game. Take what the defense gives you.
From the league winners, ball security was much improved tonight. Was that a main focus, or compared to the last 2 games, was that a main focus throughout practice this past week?
It was a huge focus. Keeping 2 hands on the ball, not forcing any throws. Just if we play a clean game, I believe our record is undefeated when we win the turnover battle. So don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. So just protect the ball at all costs, and you have a chance to win the game at the end.
Thank you.
Go Bulls.
Appreciate it.
Skinner, scoring machine, Cole Skinner. Second rushing touchdown of the season.
I wasn't expecting this. I didn't think I'd ever be up here. How y'all doing?
Good. So Cole, on your touchdown, it eluded your hands a little bit. What was the whole thing, and how did you end up with it, securing it?
That's on me. I was a little off my path. I went a little bit to the right, squeezed down a little too early. I'm not used to holding the ball, but I got to be better at that. Squeeze it right off the rip and get in that zone.
So it's usually a novelty for an offensive lineman to score a touchdown in their life. You've got 2 in a row. What's this like?
It's a blessing, really. I get the opportunity to hold that ball. I get the opportunity to run behind. The O-line's been amazing. We got Zane and all them. Wilty comes in, Mike Lofton. They don't get, they get to be on that field with me and celebrate that moment. Dangler, we love it. We celebrate it all the time. We practice it all the time. It's just a fun time when we're out there, fun time with the guys, kicking that door in, But
2 rushes, 3 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's an interesting stat line, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is. I'll take what I can get. I'm extremely blessed. That's for sure.
Why is this team on a nice roll now, 4 games in a row? What do you see on both sides of the ball, and why you guys are moving in this direction?
I think we're just blocking out everything, like media-wise. I know, it's bombarding all of us with everything, but you can't let it get to you. I didn't even know we were bowl-bound today until I saw it on the screen. It's just 1-0 each week. We got great leaders on both sides, like Mac. My roommate Golesh, he's one of the best leaders I've ever seen around. He always keeps us in check. Coach Hoodie always, tells us 1-0. We didn't do anything yet. Like, we're on a path to do big things. We got to keep that way. We got to keep going. We didn't do nothing yet.
Like playing with a guy like Byron Brown.
I love that guy with my whole heart. Like, no glazing or anything, but he's a great dude off the field. He supports our line like crazy. He's trusted us, loved us. He's just been an amazing leader for this whole offense, this whole team. Always kept his head straight, always picked everybody up. He's a great guy on and off the field.
Over 250 rushing yards in the last 4 games. What has allowed you guys to be so successful on the ground in the last 4?
It's just keeping our head down and grinding. We preach every day in the O-line room to be the most physical, the most disciplined bunch on that field. And I think it's been starting with. I think we've been building that confidence a little bit more and more each week with the leaders we have around. Making sure everything's right on the practice field, not letting anybody slip. You got to keep attacking and get better every day to make sure we really keep growing every day.
As you mentioned early on, you are bowl bound. What does that mean to you right now?
That doesn't mean anything. That's the standard. We're supposed to be bowl bound. That's the new standard. Except for South Florida, that's the bottom line. We're supposed to be there.
Is that the same in the locker room after the game?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Every time you suit up, it's a meaningful game.
For sure.
But now it's really meaningful at 6-1. How important is it to know that next game is so important?
It's just the same thing. You got to go 1-0 next week. You keep your head straight. Don't let anything get too big for you. Keep your head straight. Keep working on what you got to get better at, and just win the next game.
Thank you, Cole.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
All right, we will wrap up homecoming.
Rico. How to get 2.
Big interception tonight. Push for Rico.
So Rico, the one that didn't count. was spectacular. I mean, what was that play like? And then to have it get cut off the board was a pretty moment.
Honestly, right now it's just a blur. All I remember just picking the ball up, running to the end zone. But it was lit. Like, it was very motivating just to get the crowd back into the game. Then we go back out and get a stop. So, just put the pieces together for us.
Did you feel like they got back at you? You got one that was owed to you?
STOC, the football God's going to reward you once you stay around the football, do the right things. All I just try to live on by doing the right things, doing my job, and let the plays come to me.
You made them so one-dimensional. You didn't allow them anything in the running game at all night. What was working? What was behind it?
Just running to the football, being aggressive, being physical, being more physical than them, and then running to the ball. Like, as T.O. say, he want to make every team one-dimensional. So we made them one-dimensional, and we just kept that going.
I'm going to take that one a step further. Last year, it looked like you were running to the football. This year, it looks like you guys are flying to the football. You're getting multiple people in on tackles. Would that be correct?
Yes, sir. That's the standard.
Coach was just talking about your journey when you're a kid from right here. What do you say to a young kid that's a football fan or a football player that, about your journey and just keeping your head up and being motivated where it's not always a straight line?
I'd say never have self-doubt. Just keep going. Believe in yourself. No matter what you hear on the outside, always stick to your dreams and your goals and your aspirations. And as Coach Golesh would say, be who you say you are. And that's what I just continue to try to do, be who I say I am. And if I want to be a football player, I got to put it all in one basket.
What does it mean to have support from a guy like Coach Golesh?
I mean, it's very meaningful because, like, if you got the head man supporting you, everybody else around him going to support you. So, like, if he feel like you're not doing the right thing and there's no support from there, like, everybody else is going to feel it. But if he feel like he count on you, he going to vocalize that, and then the team going to follow back and count on you too.
Coach talks about the importance of playing the next play. Sometimes on defense, you got to have convenient Alzheimer's and forget about that last play. How tough is that?
I mean, it's very tough because our standard is not to let up anything. So, like, next play, we practice a lot, coach it a lot, just because, like, we can't dwell on the moment. We got to be in the moment, not dwell on the past. So focusing on the next play is very meaningful for us.
Thank you, Rico.
Thank you, Rico.
Thank you, everybody.
I say, what did you say? He goes, did you just call him Milli Vanilli? That is the greatest line